For those of us who remember the grim forecasts for Yellowstone grizzly bears in the 1980s, the latest news from bear experts has been cause for celebration. From a low of fewer than 200 grizzlies a mere generation ago, more than 3 times that many roam Greater Yellowstone today. Eyeball tests have provided similar anecdotal data in recent years. Seeing a grizzly in Greater Yellowstone was always a breathtaking thrill. It's no longer the wildlife equivalent of a solar eclipse. More bears are in more places than they've been in our lifetimes. The Greater Yellowstone Coalition was formed 30 years ago to help rescue the Yellowstone grizzly from extinction. We rejoice with our partners, federal and state wildlife managers, fellow conservation groups, visionary landowners, and many, many others over one of the great conservation success stories of our time. But now the question is, what's next for the great bear? We can't simply pat ourselves on the back in congratulatory satisfaction and move on to the next challenge. In many ways, our work on the Yellowstone grizzly bear has just begun. For 3 decades, GYC and other bear champions have been playing defense. Our mission has been to save a keystone species and ensure that Greater Yellowstone remains a healthy cornerstone of one of the planet's 12 remaining intact ecosystems. Well, today we ask ourselves one fundamental question. What's best for Yellowstone grizzlies in the long run? We, of course, will remain vigilant over how the grizzly is managed, whether it's by the federal government or the states of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. But we believe the bear and the growing number of people who live, work, and recreate in Greater Yellowstone will be best served by sharply focused on-the-ground efforts that foster coexistence with humans while also protecting habitat and ensuring linkage with other bear populations in the northern Rockies. Specifically, our work will revolve around what we call the 3 C's. That's core habitat, connectivity, and conflict reduction. Let's start with conflict reduction. The vast majority of grizzly bear mortality is the result of unfortunate encounters with people. Working with our partners, GYC's goal is to reduce human-caused mortality and build durable social acceptance for living safely with bears. Tangible ways to accomplish this include outfitting Greater Yellowstone's communities, campgrounds, and trailheads with bear-proof containers, ensuring that every hunter and hiker in grizzly country carries bear spray, and working with residents and visitors alike about proper storage of bear attractants, such as pet food, bird food, and garbage. And other effective tools that are at our fingertips. Electric fencing keeps ranchers' livestock safe from grizzlies and other predators. Carcass removal on ranches eliminates irresistible magnets for bears. Does it work? Yes. Since 2007, GYC has partnered with the U.S. Forest Service and Idaho Fish and Game to distribute more than 200 bear-proof garbage bins in Island Park, Idaho. The result, Island Park had only 1 conflict over garbage in 2013. Another shining example of such work is underway in Montana's Blackfoot Valley, where landowners, wildlife managers, business leaders, and conservationists have used such programs to reduce grizzly bear conflicts by 96%. 96% in the last 15 years. Our second C is connection. Connecting Greater Yellowstone bears with animals from the crown of the continent, the Glacier National Park region, and Bob Marshall Wilderness Complex is another key to sustaining the grizzly population. Well, perhaps the greatest threat to the Greater Yellowstone's grizzlies in a time of climate change is that they're an island population, separated from those bears to the north. Today, with both populations expanding, bears are a mere 60 to 80 miles apart. Connecting these distinct populations will be a game changer for Yellowstone grizzly. To that end, GYC and our partners are engaged with landowners and wildlife managers to protect and reconnect habitats, especially along streams. In the upper Madison River Valley, for example, we're working to restore streamside vegetation in places grizzlies use to move across the landscape to the benefit of all wildlife, not just bears. And finally, without question, safe and secure core habitat for grizzly bears within Greater Yellowstone is critical to their long-term success. Protecting wild country isn't just good for bears, it's good for people too. The same country that's so critical for a healthy grizzly bear population also produces clean water unparalleled hunting and fishing opportunities, world-class wildlife watching, and drives our tourism and business economy. If we have a healthy bear population, we have healthy natural systems. We will continue to work with federal and state agencies, communities, landowners, and others to ensure this region remains intact and functional for bears and for people. Yellowstone grizzlies have made a remarkable comeback, and for that we celebrate. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves, focus on core habitat, connectivity, and conflict reduction, and do the work necessary to sustain Greater Yellowstone's iconic symbol of wildness, the grizzly bear. I'm Caroline Bird, Executive Director for the Greater Yellowstone Coalition, a Bozeman-based nonprofit dedicated to protecting the lands, waters, and wildlife of the